Aloha, y'all. I figured I would show you, though I have to flip it around, the volcano. Can you see it? I don't know. I can see. Somewhere over there. Mountains. There. Haha. Volcano. It's only 8 miles away. And it was actually very active from 1964 to 2010. Every night, kind of just spewing forth. Hasn't done that in a hot minute. It'd be nice in a weird aesthetic way to see that, but I'm okay with it not blowing up either. Today is Saturn's Day, Saturday, the 5th of March. The sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Aries, Mercury's in Aquarius, Venus and Mars are conjunct in Capricorn, Jupiter's in Pisces, conjunct the sun exactly right now. Saturn is in Aquarius, conjunct Mercury. Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune's in Pisces, and Pluto is in Capricorn, also conjunct Venus and Mars. The North Node is in Taurus. It is an Ajna chakra day, a third eye day. So take a gander at the Vesica Pisces of the third eye, the Ajna. This is about intuition, keywords, intuition, mysticism, and understanding. Positive attributes are highly intuitive, faithful, clear-sighted, integrous, and an orderly mind. Negative aspects are inability to trust your intuition, scattered mind, inconsiderate, and blinkered vision. The mantra is Om. When you hear people go Om, this is what they're doing, basically. The essential oils are camphor, sweet pea, and heliotrope. If you're doing Om, do it in the key of A. Crystals are sapphire, lapis lazuli, and tanzanite, and soul lesson is detachment and intuition. So let's see on this Saturn's day what we can get for the cards. Hopefully you're all doing well. As you could hear and see, possibly it's a little lighter. It's only 5:45 or something like that here, but actually it's exactly 5:50. I woke up at like 4. So I've been kind of chomping on the bit. I'm going to eat some mushrooms today. They grow everywhere around here. All drugs are decriminalized. You can have 400 plus grams personal of any drug. And you can buy them apparently from the state, like regulated, not the state, but they're regulated by the cops because they're just like want things to work well. Not so much here, more in tourist towns. But there's so many cow fields around here and the moisture so much that psychedelic mushrooms are always growing. Fascinating. And property here and the area is cheap as fuck. So I've been thinking about maybe starting up a retreat center with a bunch of gringos and people I know from all over the world. I mean, we're talking cheap. So like 1,000 or 2,000 for an acre, and to build a house, personal house, would be like 10 grand to own. No citizenship required. I'm rambling. I'm projecting where my head is at, obviously. My ajna is kind of thinking that way. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. What was to pop today? Today we've got the Ace of Swords. Well, it being a third eye day and the sun conjunct Jupiter exactly. We're getting some big downloads, folks. Like I said, with a third eye day, the Vesica Pisces, shing, kind of going like that. So, Aces of Swords is the beginning. Aces are, the one, essentially, of any deck, and swords are the mind. So if you're a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, this is naturally, you're going to be your suit. Oh, come on. I'm not turning very quickly because this book is laden with water. Ace of Wands. There we go. All right, so Ace of Swords. This is like Excalibur, right? Ace of Swords, opportunities to hone your highest intellect, learn new ways to reach your true potential, embodying a powerful philosophy. Ace of Swords, I live through my highest values. The time has arrived, or as LCD Sound System would say, the time has come, the time has come, the time has come today. The time has arrived for a significant breakthrough. Not DMT, but one phosphorus molecule off is psilocybin mushrooms. The time has arrived for a significant breakthrough, the creation of a conscious, intentional space, which I was just kind of mentioning. Holler if you want to be a part of some kind of vision like that. in which to have a powerful insight, even just the meditative, third eye space, the Om space, with or without psychedelics. Conscious understanding brought to a particular issue is expanded with a clear, unique thought or a new inner voice. The result is rejuvenating, a fresh new beginning or approach to life with a renewed vision of your purpose. I'll take it. In this artwork, a sword is seen floating in the space of pure potential beyond a golden circle through which the matrix of life is seen. This ancient Celtic blade, weathered by time and circumstance, points upwards, intersecting the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube. Its field of high vibrational frequencies ripple out through creation. The sword, which represents intelligence, appears to sever the umbilical cord that joins the golden fetuses floating in the distance, streaked in the dancing filaments of light. Male and female ancestral lines of limited being in the world are being severed. The Ace of Swords calls upon you to cut away anything that doesn't move you towards your highest potential and service in the world. It invites the birth and collaboration of all your intelligences so you can live into the full force field of your life. Advanced brain mapping technologies can visually illustrate the different types of intelligence, overturning the long-held notion of innate preferences of left versus right brain intelligence. So it's a whole system. Yes, you have hemispherics, but because of many reasons, it's a network. It does a whole lot of things. It's not just, I only use this side and never that side. It's not quite like that, we're understanding. For instance, the theory of multiple intelligences aims to broaden the definition so it reflects the many ways people think, learn, and act. And in that sense, multiple intelligence is almost acting as in Disney's Pixar's Inside Out. You have parts of yourself that are different attributes, archetypally even. This is a different way of thought this is a different way of thought than unified general intelligence or IQ. Take a contemporary dancer, for example. Their agility, skill, strength, and precision could be said to have a combination of bodily, kinesthetic, and visual spatial intelligences. Someone like David Bowie, then, would have a predominant musical, rhythmic, and harmonic intelligence with an acute sensitivity to musical components and pitch. Combine this with the aforementioned intelligences, and you get an artist with a high verbal, linguistic intelligence and existential intelligence. You can hear it through his striking lyrics, which lit up the creative heart of so many people throughout his long career. And if you're wondering why the author's fanboying a little about David Bowie, it's the Starman David Bowie Starman Tarot deck. He worked with Bowie, and he's been on the podcast a few times. Shout out David DeAngelis. This card indicates an opportunity for powerful focus. Hone all of your intelligences in the spirit of great teamwork, right? Mercury, Saturn, and Aquarius. To work towards a vision of yourself realizing your highest potential, flow, and radiance. Sun conjunct Jupiter in Pisces, ruled by Neptune. It's like, what is your dream? Make it so. Consider fresh ways of understanding, organizing, articulating, and expressing your sense of purpose. Right? This is a heavily action-oriented. This is the beginning of a journey of mind. So Moon in Aries. You can achieve anything that you desire. Ace of Swords, opportunities to hone your highest intellect, learn new ways to reach your true potential, and embodying a powerful philosophy. What a beautiful card. And I really do think that today is going to, it's my first day off. I got here 1 week ago, so I'm one of 12 weeks done through Costa Rica. Time doth fly. But we have the ability to birth new ideas, and we're going to be getting a clear vision in terms of what that looks like, a literal mental projection. With Mercury conjunct Saturn, the grid from which the matrix of new form can flow from. Inspiration has to have a field of creativity and manifest outside of that, like forms, symbols, archetypes, energies, etc. That's what's happening right now. So tap into it. It is yours for the taking. And I'm certain I'm going to be tripping a little today. So, yeehaw. So we've got the Page of Pentacles with Baron Samadhi, the Voodoo Baron, as the clarifier. Let's go ahead and see what that's about. With Mars, Venus conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, this is a Capricorn ruled card. It's not surprising that this is coming out. The Page of Pentacles is about really kind of starting off your. It's pages are more petulant, more petulant and playful. They're not quite as maternal as the Queen, and they're not as like domineering and in charge as the King, I guess you could say. So this is about the airy, right? The intellectual. Once again, Ace of Swords, third eye. The airy part of Earth. Being observant and resourceful, looking to the little details and enjoying collaboration. So I think it's time to really birth new ideas that involve others in the real world. You'll see the plan in your mind, and then you have to execute it in the real world. And both of those are using your third eye, your discernment, your vision, right? Just to have a dream and not a little damp, it looks like, a little glistening. Just to have a dream and not to implement it isn't going to be effective. With Mars, conjunct Venus and Pluto, it's time to transform the world through action and love. In the world, Capricorn. It's not about just like, oh, one day we'll make utopia. It's like, we can change the politicians now. We can change the rules now. We, the people, create the government. We have disempowered ourselves so long to tech companies, to governments, to institutions, to religious institutions and stuff like that, that we have to remember that these are human beings doing things that we ourselves are capable of doing, and to take back that anarchistic sovereignty. Be like, we can do these things also. You don't want to be disempowering yourself ever. But with Mars conjunct Venus and Pluto and Capricorn, the revolution's here. The revolution of what? New ideas, Mercury and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. New ideas, Ace of Swords, in the world. All that Capricorn energy I was talking about. Sextiling or trining, I think. I forget which off the top of my head. Trining the North Node. So this is getting activated in the world. North Node in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus. And it's about taking, at one point Disney World wasn't a thing, or Jim Henson's world wasn't a thing. These were ideas, and people got the ideas, gathered them, siphoned them, and put them to paper. And that's really what we're being asked to do. It's like, dream big and then apply it. We've got protection. You can do this. You can have a trip and it's not going to be bad. I mean, even if it's bad, it's a good trip. Everyone's always going off, oh, there's bad trips. It's like, no, that's just stuff you haven't dealt with in your shadow and your psyche. 'Tis what it is. So the Lioness, 21. Hopefully y'all are having a good day. Like I said, mine started at 4 a.m. Protection. You are strongly protected right now, right? More Mars, Venus, Pluto conjunct Capricorn. It's like you have a hard shell. So you can go out into space in a rock, in a vehicle with all that kind of material protecting you. You have like shields from the solar rays and galactic cosmic radiation. You have extra oxygen. You have extra food, right? You can go on these journeys into the, not the black hole, but into the space, into the final frontiers. Pisces conjunct Sun conjunct Jupiter, and Neptune and Jupiter. It's like where you're walking in a dream. And remember, you're protected. Wow, the sunlight really, or the lighting really does funny things. Whoa, Nelly. Can I get a consistent color if I do this? That helps, I guess. Hopefully y'all can see this. You are strongly protected right now. You're invited to embrace your authenticity and to be unafraid to wisely express your emotions. To protect others, we must learn to develop strength in ourselves and to know the power of restraint, which is what real power involves. I almost just knocked my headphones off my head. Samurais wield a sword, but they don't always just swashbuckle everything. You want to be adventurous in the world, but also responsible. Like, you don't want to just spend all your money in one place, right? So, you are protected, though. Mythos. In many temple artworks, the lion-headed Egyptian goddess Sekhmet strides powerfully towards the pharaoh. Her protection is extended to him and around him, effectively providing security and physically safeguarding him, particularly in times of war. After winning a terrible battle, Sekhmet maintained her battle rage and bloodlust. She looked around her and wished to still kill and spill blood. Right? Mars, Venus, conjunct Pluto, Capricorn is like, I want to, in the negative aspect might be like, I want to destroy the world and suck its blood, right? Eat its bones. She looked around her and wished to still kill and spill blood. The people trembled and the gods noticed. They're like, hey, man, let's put this chick in check. The god Ra turned the Nile River red so that it looked like blood, very Jupiter Sun conjunct in Pisces, where it's like, here's an illusion, here's a magic trick over here. Look over here and distract yourself, Sekhmet, with the false blood river. So he made the Nile look like blood and invited Sekhmet to quench her thirst there. She drank and drank, but the river was not blood, but beer. Neptune is about drunkenness, right? So the Sun conjunct Jupiter with Aries moon, it's like, I want to rage war. I want to kill everything. It's like, yo, get drunk on this fake blood and pass out. She drank and drank, but the river was not blood, but beer. Her bloodlust was curbed by her intoxication, and she became peaceful again. In ritual, the priestess of Sekhmet would intoxicate themselves. The priestesses of Sekhmet would intoxicate themselves and encourage worshippers to do the same in order to both connect themselves to the goddess and reduce her destructive energy. That is some Jupiter Sun conjunct exact Pisces energy. It's like, let's get drunk and channel the energy of the goddess, moon and Aries, raging war, so we don't, it's like bitch, don't kill my vibe. It's like, let's bring it down a notch. Don't kill everybody. The animal. Lions have been referred to as the king of beasts because of their sheer power and roar. While the lion's mane is probably the most recognizable thing about these big cats, the lioness is the powerhouse of the two, right? Vesica Pisces, 2 becoming 1 in that sense. And I was going to say something about Mars and Venus conjunct, but I'll just leave it there. Lionesses are hyper carnivores, very moon and Aries, and do all the hunting, communicating to their pride members by complex verbalizations, Mercury and Aquarius. Lionesses hunt in teams, Mercury and Saturn and Aquarius, let's get the job done together, teaching younger males and females of their pride how to hunt at the same time. Females are more than capable of bringing down large prey, such as buffalo or giraffe that weigh over a ton, Venus conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, right? It's like women can do what men can do, if not better, in some scenarios, right? Females are more than capable of bringing down large prey, such as buffalo or giraffe that weigh over a ton. In teams, lionesses have been able to bring down elephants, much larger than themselves, obviously. Females are social animals and live in groups of relatives. There is a dominant male that provides protection and mating opportunities, although the females will get involved in defense, particularly if they have cubs. Never fuck with a mama bear, or mama lion, I guess is the new term. The magic. If you have ever seen a lioness in the wild, you will immediately understand the nature of the magic of this magnificent feline. Lionesses are hugely powerful and work as teams to bring down prey and protect their young. This contrast of lethal power, right? Moon and Aries. This contrast of basically Mars conjunct Venus and Pluto and Capricorn. This contrast of lethal power and tender protectiveness is the key to the lioness magic. Plug into lioness magic in situations when you need responsible power, right? That Ace of Swords when you want to wield Excalibur properly. Responsible power, and when you need some help in restraining a destructive energy such as rage, Moon and Aries, right? When you want to curb that and cool it down with Mercury, Saturn conjunct in Aquarius, you want to bring the boil down but keep it simmering. That's how you do it. Symbology: lion-headed woman, fire, lion, claws, blood, beer. Status is vulnerable, so we need to be good stewards of our lion friends, those where they live. So we have the power of insight, right? We have this brand new idea, this brand new way of seeing things, and we need to be playful with it, but ground it, right? Have fun, like keep it light, but keep it real. Oh, I really want to flip the camera around because the sun is starting to hit the mountains and such. It is beautiful here. And we're protected in these endeavors, right? So you can have a revolution and you won't get sniped right now. That doesn't mean you can't die necessarily, right? But it's like you have more protection than maybe you realize. So don't live timidly. Live like a lion, lioness, Sekhmet. You're protected. So let's get an I Ching hexagram. Hopefully you're all enjoying this. If you are, definitely, post it, share it, tag people, whatever's clever. Let's all share in the groove, as they say. We've got number 7. A whole lot of action going on. Very Mars Aries moon energy. So, number 7. is collective force, right? That is what we're being told. You as an individual, Ace of Swords, are protected. Whoops. Are protected. Oh, that's never good. When pages fall out. These are later pages. Page 108, even. Death number for Buddhists. That'll come into play later. Cool. You are protected in your endeavors as a group. Saturn conjunct Mercury in Aquarius. You could do this as a unit, right? So collective force. The struggle against an external opponent or a part of yourself always involves an element of risk. So just because you're protected doesn't mean there's no, there's no risk, but you are protected. You have armor for the bullets that will come, as opposed to you're naked and, running around with your head cut, like a chicken with its head cut off. If you want to win, very Mars, Venus, Pluto, and Capricorn is about winning. Aries moon, winning, battling, getting on top. If you want to win, then you have to deploy all your strength as any good commander would. Victory requires iron discipline, good perspective, and strategic skill. Perseverance and a sense of justice are prerequisites for maintaining control of the situation, right? I mean, a good general knows how to wield a sword. Keep in mind the power of human feelings and needs. Remain courageous and understanding, and through this foster a sense of unity among your allies. First of all, you should scrupulously and impartially ascertain whether the struggle is just and absolutely necessary, right? Ace of Swords. Is this even worth it? Do I have to get a new perspective on this thing? Maybe I'm fighting a battle that's like, I don't know all the politics and details, but it's like, is Russia really needing to do what they're doing with Ukraine right now? Or is the world ganging up on Russia because it's against the New World Order, and this is just kind of a psyop? All sorts of kind of new ways of looking at things. Ace of Swords. You never know. So is it a just and absolutely necessary situation? Perhaps the same outcome could be achieved with patience and frankness, right? So we're being told, get your weapons ready. Like your mind is your heart yields your mind, right? So this is like the source of everything, your heart. Like everything's a dream of God, in the heart of God, if you want to put it that way. And the mind is what articulates these things. So that's what makes an upspin and a downspin in a particle, or that's what makes man and woman. It's like these differentiations are held in the heart of creation and discerned through the mind. So we're having to see things in a new way, organize our force, hopefully in a strategically loose way, like a playful is a strong word, but not, how would I put it, not a rigid way, right? And know that we're protected, and others, and even the others that we harm in some weird way. We're all going to laugh about this one day. It's like, and just using this situation at hand, Ukraine and Russia are on the same team of God, if you want to put it that way. And then God has differentiated itself into infinite fractals of various ideations, and they play out their dynamics thusly. So there is no good and evil. There's just like, easy and hard, kind of. It's like kind of like when I'm looking at people's charts. It's like, oh, look at all these squares and trines. It's like trines aren't good and squares bad. Squares just means challenging, and trine just means #blessed, right? So it's easier. But we have the ability to open up our minds, hopefully gather our strength with others in a way that's actualizing in the world and playing in the sandbox, as opposed to being loosey with the ball for Charlie Brown and pulling it out and yanking it and just being an asshole. What if Snoopy ran in there and always told him, here comes Lucy, she's going to play a trick on you? He'd feel more protected. So we can tap into that kind of protection and that overall power today, especially with the Jupiter, Sun conjunction, and Neptune. It's like, what is your heart dream? Make it so. Make it so in your mind. Because if your mind and your heart aren't in alignment, which most people's aren't, including myself all the time, it's just, more difficult to do at this stage of our evolution. If your mind and your heart aren't in alignment, you're going to find that you're getting different reads of the land. Like your heart will be like, oh, everything is one and we're in a dream. And your mind will go, but the terrain over... It's like almost like, seeing things with a hyper HD camera from your heart, and then seeing only infrared with your mind. So you polarize things and see things as hot or cold, or, dead or alive or whatever. So, this is a beautiful stone for today. Labradorite. It's got that Mars, Venus, Pluto conjunct in Earth, North Node, and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus, kind of rocky energy, but also this kind of dreamy Jupiter, Sun, Neptune situation going on here. All right, let me set these down. So you can quantumly entangle with this. I own some, actually. I didn't bring it with me to Costa Rica, but labradorite, you just knowing that it exists causes you to also be part of it. Labradorite. I keep on saying labradorite. It's labradorite. What it is, labradorite is a feldspar mineral first discovered in Canada's frozen north. The stone seems to hold the light of the aurora borealis just beneath its surface. This dreamy, ethereal, right? The electromagnetic dance in Avatar: Legend of Korra. The northern lights are the spirits dancing. So this is refracting that kind of light play. Very Page of Pentacles is the play of light in the earth. This slightly psychedelic, iridescent dance is known quite appropriately as labradorescence. Who needs it? Adventurers exploring far-off lands and places. Costa Rica is an American. Places alchemical, spiritual, artistic, and dreamy. Any Pisces, so perfect stone, like I said, for Jupiter's Sun, conjunct Pisces. But just Sun and Jupiter, God, I can't think and speak. Sun and Jupiter conjunct in Pisces. That's what I was trying to say. Perfect stone. Or to put it, wherever you cast your spells. When to use it? When you've lost your faith in magic. The world is a weird, wonderful, whimsical, watery rock hurtling through space, and you're on it, and that makes you special. Gaze into labradorite and delight in that. This says protect your magic. We got protection. Right? Your magic is protected. Your heart, notice where her ankh is, the heart, it's not next to her head. She is crowned. The head matters. It's our computer processor, but this is the engine of life, of consciousness even, possibly. So go out there, enjoy the ride, try new things, have new conversations, right? Think new thoughts. I'm not even dwelling on the political situation, but instead of being like, oh, Russia bad, Putin's an evil communist, be like, maybe they're fighting the New World Order and this is just where the distraction goes. That's one new idea. I'm not even saying I believe that, but I've had friends and fiance and people talking about that kind of thing, hearing the Leo King talking about it, right? The U.S. has just shifted all of its mask mandates and everything. It's like COVID was a psyop to see who submits to the needle. This almost looks like a needle, right? Who wants to get jabs? It's like have a new way of approaching your health, your mind, your body, your everything. Like your grid of understanding is to be playfully re-engineered, birthing new ideas, right? You can, I forget what it's called, like the force, power of force or something. Let me just check because I don't want to. Collective force. With Mercury and Saturn and Aquarius, we're in this together. We're all individuals with single swords of the mind and heart that create an army, right? We the people are protected. And what are we protecting? Our magic. So get out there, plant seeds, envision a future utopia. I'm really serious about trying to maybe have little spots in various parts of the world where people of like mind and like spirit help build a community of some kind, even if it's loose, and have workshops and psychedelic retreats, and do things like that. So if that's something that interests you, holler. Like I said, property where I'm at in Costa Rica is cheap as fuck. You can't buy land and live and build a house for less than $30,000 or $20,000 or whatever. This house where I'm at right now, they bought the property, I think, for like, I don't even know, 20 grand or something like that. 10 grand, I don't know, a couple acres, 2 acres, 3 acres here. And the house is like 50 grand. And it's a nice 2-story house, big. Like this would be a $200,000 house plus in America. So get new ideas. Think about what you want to do in the world. How do you want to be in the change of the revolution? Who are you doing it with? The power of the group, right? You are protected, so you don't have to be like, oh, if I say these things, will Big Brother get me? Will I be incarcerated? Will I lose my head? It's like, no, it's time to stand up for your ideas and to protect your magic, because you yourself are protected. If you're doing things for the right reasons, with the right intentions, with the right people, with the right juju going forward, sky's the limit, baby. So hopefully that makes sense. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We can start having the episodes again. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do it today because I think I'm going to eat some mushrooms. But basically, 270 plus episodes. We're going to start up probably tomorrow again and be doing a couple a week, depending on my internet quality here. So check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. Holler for readings. I don't have, I mean, I'm doing work-stay, kind of woofing, but glorified woofing here. So any tips or, readings as a gift to yourself or friends, mucho apreciado. I'm making up Spanglish now. I would appreciate it very much. Um, $33 for cards for an hour, $88 for 3 hours of astrology, $111 for both, and that's basically 5 hours of hanging out with me and getting all the magic downloads. And I've only got 5-star reviews, so we ain't fucking around out here. So holler for readings, check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast, and ultimately enjoy your Saturn's day. Try to be a steward of new thoughts from your heart. You're protected, so you can be magical. Rise your magic. Be prolific in engendering a world that you want to be a part of. You don't have to be a victim of the world. The world, in some weird way, is this dance, this crazy wide world. I mean, what it said on the card, right? It's perfectly worded, so I might as well say it. The world is a weird, wonderful, whimsical, watery rock hurtling through space, and you're on it, and that makes you special. Right? So gaze into your heart with a new mind and dream a bigger dream that's inclusive and helpful for everyone. Don't just be hoarding and being like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's like, you don't want to be on that wave right now. That doesn't mean be irresponsible, Page of Pentacles. You still have to be a steward and protect your assets and your body and your mind. But at the same time, it's a pioneering era. It's the age of Aquarius. It's about expansion, and it's about understanding, and it's about ultimately unity consciousness. We're dreaming the dream together and walking each other home, as Ram Dass would say. So enjoy the ride. Check out the podcast, holler for readings, and have a beautiful Saturn's day. Adios.